welcome to Lily's Library. So today we are going to be doing my June reading vlog. Now, my main priority, like always, is my physical TBR. I think I might actually add on a few books to my monthly TBR because I did forget that there was a few arcs that I'd signed up for that are releasing in June that I need to read. So I'm going to try and get through some of those, but we'll see how we go with it all. Either way, I have already started 3 of the books that are on my TBR for this month. I'm halfway through one of them, nearing halfway on the other one, and I've only read 2 chapters of the 3rd book. But we're going to go through what my main priority for the first half of this vlog will be. So I'm hoping to really finish Cleat Cute. This is by Meryl Wilsner. I read Mistakes Were Made a couple years ago, and I had a really good time with it. There's some things I didn't like with it, but I am enjoying this so far. It is taking me a bit to get through. This was one I actually started at the beginning of the year, but just never made much progress on. But I've been feeling like reading a romance and something a bit lighter, so I'm hoping this will be a good one that I can finish this weekend and this week, but we'll see how we go. I am currently on page 162, so we're around about halfway through it, but my reading has definitely trickled off this week. I've just been not in the right mood for it, so I've been reading very slowly, but I would like to make a lot more progress on this one. I know I can definitely finish this one this weekend, I just need to actually prioritize it. But we are on Thursday at the moment, so we still have a few days till then, so I'm hoping to read a bit more tonight after I finish some coursework stuff I am doing. But I'm also going to be making more progress on The Ending Fire by Sarah Elarifi. I'm hoping to also try and finish this one this weekend. This is the one I'm like getting close to halfway through. I'm not quite onto part 2 yet, I think, or am I in part 2? So I'm not quite up to part 3, but I'm getting close to it. This one I'm 160-ish pages in as well. This is, I think, 400 something pages, nearly 500 pages. Yeah, this is nearly 500 pages, but I am really enjoying this. I'll definitely do more updates once I have read more. I have my theories about something that is going on, especially with Anor, but I'll talk about it at a later point. But I am really enjoying this one. This is the 3rd and final installment in the Ending Fire trilogy, and I am so nervous about where all this is going. And then the book I've really made no progress on is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I'm hoping to try and read this month. I think if I pace myself, I should be able to get through this. This is a long book and a long classic, and as someone who doesn't really read classics, this is quite intimidating, but I do also have longer classics on my TBR, so I'm hoping that this will kind of ease me into that in a way. But I do really think the writing is well done. I was not expecting there to be such blatant racism so early on. I know the narrator of this book is not a good person, which I'm very interested to unpack, and I've heard really good things about this. And of course, the Netflix adaptation is meant to be coming out sometime soon, so I'm gonna read that before then. This is one that's been on my TBR for quite a while, and I only recently picked up a physical copy of, but I've only read the first 2 chapters. I'm hoping to read a few more this weekend. I'm just gonna take my time with this and read a few chapters every now and then. I would like to try and get it done by the end of the month, but we will see, because this is a 500, 600 page book and there are over 50 chapters. So we'll see how we go. But I am going to go and do some coursework stuff that I have to do. I don't know how much time I'll have for reading tonight, but I'll probably film more reading stuff throughout the weekend, and we can check in once I have some updates and some progress on things. It's meant to be very cold and windy over the next couple days, so I'm hoping to just stay inside as much as I can. But yeah, we'll see how we go. But I'm going to stop rambling so I can go do that stuff I need to do. Okay, excuse the wet hair. I have been dyeing my hair, but I am making a lot of progress on the battle drum. What is this? No, the Ending Fire. So I don't really have too much left. It's just over 100 pages, and I am really enjoying this. I am getting really stressed because we are getting up to that sort of final war, and I was talking to one of my friends about it, and she said the way that the war and the battle is done is very interesting and unique. And I flipped ahead into part 5 and saw that each chapter is a different perspective from so many different characters, and it says like the battle day 1, day 2, day 3 sort of thing. So I'm very intrigued to see how that goes. But I did a bit more reading this morning while I was dyeing my hair, while I was waiting for it to marinate. And I've also been listening to an audiobook actually. I decided to start listening to Voyage of the Damned, which is one I've had on my TBR for quite a while. I actually have the Illumicrate edition of this. This is a queer murder mystery book. We've got a whole bunch of heirs to this kingdom that are going on this ship for a journey together that they have to complete, and I believe they slowly start getting killed off. And I've listened to the first tiny bit and I'm really enjoying it. I think the characters are funny. I'm definitely going to be listening to a whole lot more. I also just realized my cat jumped up behind me. But I really want to finish this one and Cleat Cute, and then maybe this other really short sort of non-fiction book I've got. But I have plans to start Among the Burning Flowers with some friends for a buddy read early in the week, and I think I might also move on to Yesteryear and then maybe slowly start picking up A Song for Legends Lost, just because that is the chunkiest book on my TBR beside East of Eden, which I'm also going to be slowly reading more of because I've only read the first 2 chapters, but I've enjoyed it so far. But I am going to stop yapping and get to reading, and we will update as I read more. I'm very stressed and nervous about all of this. Anor is stressing me out so much. She has kind of been stressing me this entire series, but especially in this book. It's just, there's so much going on with her specifically, and like the other characters as well, but her character is so fascinating because she is so easily manipulated no matter what side she is on. She's just very not a strong character, which I do find interesting to read, and she's clearly going through it and has no idea what is coming for her, and it truly makes me so nervous. But I'm gonna keep reading. I'm currently in Sila's chapter. We have had so much just happen, and I'm pretty sure John is going to be with them again soon and bring all of the mainlanders. I think it's the mainlanders, but I am so excited and so nervous. So I'm going to get into my reading now, and we'll see how it goes. I'll update once I've got more thoughts and feelings. Have finished The Ending Fire. I really enjoyed this. I think this is maybe my least favorite out of the trilogy. I still had a really good time with it, but The Battle Drum is by far the best book out of the 3 of them. But this was a very good ending to everything. I had expected a little bit more to happen with it, but I'm still glad at how everything wrapped up. I really loved how the final battle sequence was done. So as I said a little bit earlier, the final battle part was done as like different characters' perspectives. So not just our main POV characters, but we got a bunch of side characters' perspectives as well on both sides of the war and the battle, which I found to be very interesting and fascinating. It was very cool and nice seeing how that was done. We also had the animal companion. We had a bit of a perspective from that, which I thought was really cute and sweet and made me very sad as well. And then we got some other parts of it as well. But I had a really good time with this. This was a very solid conclusion to this trilogy, and I'm so glad I have finally finished it. Since it is something that took me so long, I think I had expected a little bit more from the ending of this, just because I don't know, I thought it would wrap up a little bit differently, but I still did have a great time with it. I also knew going into it that this would probably be my least favorite out of the trilogy, just compared to some friends' thoughts and feelings and things that they have said based off of this book, but it was still very solid. I ended up taking a little break in that final part just to go and chat to a friend and also do some editing and stuff, so it did take me a little bit longer to finish this than I thought. Like, it is already almost 5:30 at night, so I'm gonna go continue editing that video that I'm working on and then make make dinner, and I think later tonight I will read some more Cute and try and get through a lot of that. I don't actually know now if I'm going to finish it tonight, just because it is kind of late and I've got a few things to do still, and I want to try and sleep early, but we'll see how we go. I would like to make some more progress on that, or maybe read a little bit more of East of Eden. But first book done for the month. I'm very happy that it was this one because this was really good and very solid. It's also such a queer book and it's just perfect for Pride Month and all times of the year. And I love Hassa so much. Hassa is the main character on the front here. She is the ghosting, and she is such a great character. I think out of the three main female leads, she is by far my favorite. She's just so interesting and powerful, and I love her inner monologue and the way that she views the world and fights for things. She is just such a incredibly strong and just incredible character altogether. I had a really good time with it. There were some very sweet and tender moments at the end and some bits that were very sad as well, and I just really loved the writing of it. There was one bit as well that stuck out to me. I took a photo of it, so I'll pop it up on the screen, but it was a quote that I just found to be very beautiful and timely as well, when it was kind of talking about how it's so easy to be swayed and poisoned by information and stuff, which I found to be very interesting. But this is so good. I just loved the way that it did tackle colonization and kind of rewriting history and people being able to take back what was once theirs. Just the way that this whole universe and this whole trilogy is done is just so beautiful. I love it so much. I love Sarah El-Arifi. I really need to read more of her books now. I'm hoping to get to Cleopatra soon. And then I think she's got the third and final book coming out in the Feybound trilogy. So I definitely need to get the second book because I read that as an ARC and don't have a physical one. And then I'll have to get the third one as well. But Cleopatra is definitely going to be my next read from her, seeing as that is the only other book of hers that is out that I've yet to read. But she is such a good author. Definitely a new auto-by-author for me. I really love the way that she does female characters. They're very intricate, and I just love the different, the way that she does them, especially Anor's character. Anor was a very annoying and frustrating character, but very realistic, and I loved kind of seeing her journey. Even though I didn't agree with a lot of what she did, I thought she was very fascinating to read still. But yeah, I'm gonna go and do all that stuff I spoke about. There's also a new season of Criminal Minds that has started, so I'm probably gonna go watch the first episode of that while I'm cooking and having dinner as well. But you would have seen that last night as well. I'm pretty sure I filmed a shot, but me and my partner watched the X-Files movie, Fight the Future, I think it's called, and that was really fun. And I can't believe we almost got a Scully and Mulder kiss, and it was interrupted by a fucking bee. I knew they didn't actually kiss until season 7 or something, but I was still disappointed because it was so close. I love a slow burn, but sometimes it kills me as well. But yeah, it's getting a bit cold here too, so I might go put on something a little bit warmer and get all comfy, and we'll see how the rest of the night goes and whether I can get much more reading done. Recently set up this bookshelf, but I'm kind of already wanting to rearrange it. I think I'm going to take all of these books back downstairs onto my other shelves and bring some different ones up. At the moment, this is mostly classics, and then I've got non-fiction down here and my partner's books, but I'm thinking of also taking my non-fiction back downstairs and giving him more room because I do feel bad that there's not a lot. But yeah, I think I might reshuffle things and just take all of these down and bring up some other books. So I think I'm going to go start swapping. I think I want to bring up my general fiction and translated fiction books and keep my fantasy and manga downstairs because I feel like that's more of what I've got down there. But I do have some books up here that I'm going to leave behind, so I'm going to reshuffle all of those because I just filmed a video, but we have got 3 books up here all ready to go, so I'm going to go grab all those and take the other ones downstairs, and we're going to start reshuffling. Okay, so I am done rearranging. So up here I have got my translated books as well as just like some general fiction and I guess historical fiction as well, with like Pachinko and like The Mountain Sing and A Thousand Splendid Suns and like all that mix of just general fiction. There were some books I couldn't fit, like a lot by Australian authors that I had a stack of, and then a few other fiction books, so they are downstairs. I'll film a few clips of the downstairs ones to show, but I've got pretty much a full shelf that is free and empty to add more books on. So we've got plenty of room to add more to. I still have my non-fiction books. They're down here at the very bottom that you can't see, but for now they are staying there along with my poetry, and then we'll see later on if I need to readjust again. But I thought we would do a reading update now because I have finished one book. I don't think I've spoken about it yet, but that was Cleat Cute by Meryl Wilsner. I enjoyed this. I think Mistakes Were Made is my favorite book from them, but I still did enjoy this one. I rated it 3 stars. I think it was really solid. I had expected a little bit more from it. I just wasn't really super engaged with this, and I think that's more a fault of me than it necessarily is of the book, but it was still interesting. I did love the discussions as well around ADHD and autism and talking about that in the sporting world, and I loved seeing the relationship progress and bloom. Something about it just didn't hook me in very much, so it was still solid and cute, but yeah, nothing too special. I do think it would make an absolutely fantastic TV show though, and I know the rights for a show have been sold, so as soon as that show comes out, I will be binge watching it because it will be such a great show. Then I am currently reading a few books. I'm still reading East of Eden. I haven't read anything in a couple days or a week now, but I will be reading more of that soon. But I am making progress on 2 other books. So I ended up starting Among the Burning Flowers by Samantha Shannon. I'm doing a buddy read of this with some people on Instagram. So I am only 68 pages in. I do want to try and finish it this weekend, but I've got some books on my Kobo that I want to prioritize instead. So we'll see how we go. But this is another standalone in the Roots of Chaos cycle. This is not one of the main 4 standalones, so there's still going to be 2 other books for this, but this is like a direct prequel for Priory of the Orange Tree. So it's talking about your Scarlin and stuff like that, and looks at the impact and everything that is happening there, which I am very excited for because I love the characters, like Morosa, who is I don't remember the name, but she is like the heir to your Scarlin and stuff. So I'm very interested to see more of that world, and I am enjoying it so far. I'm just not 100% in the right mood for it, so I think I might pause it this weekend, but we'll see how we go. But I'll talk about the other books I want to read instead. But as for another book I'm reading, I ended up picking up the audiobook of Voyage of the Damned. This is the beautiful Illumicrate copy, but I am on chapter 16, which is 219 pages through. I do have the physical book to tandem read when I'm in the mood, but at the moment I've just purely been listening to it, and I'm really enjoying this one. This is a fantasy book. I think it's just a standalone, and we follow the 12 heirs to these 12 different countries or regions within this giant area. Let me see if I can get the map. Yeah, so we've got the United Empire of Concordia, and we follow the different heirs to these different areas. They're the blessed ones, which they all get a blessing because they are the heir to that area, and they all have different powers and abilities. Besides our main character, Gamamedes, he doesn't have any ability at all because his dad slept around and has another heir somewhere that has inherited this blessing. So we kind of follow him as he goes onto this journey with the other blessed, and slowly they start dying. So it's one of those kinds of books, and I'm very excited about it because it's obviously kind of more like a closed door murder mystery, I guess, since it is set on this ship and like no one else can leave it or get on it, and it's only them. So it's very interesting, and I'm intrigued to see where it goes. It's also very, very gay, which I love. It is so much fun and so entertaining. I am, nearing halfway. I'm going to definitely try and get to a lot more of it this weekend, but I was listening to it while I was rearranging my bookshelf, but I'm having a great time with this one. Then as for books on my Kobo, we've got some very exciting things. So let me just turn up the brightness. I've got heaps of books on here that I've been wanting to read, but there are 2 or 3 that I'm really hoping to get to this weekend. The first one is Destiny's Edge by M.L. Wong. This is the author of The Sword of Kaigan and Blood Over Brighthaven, which I absolutely love. And I saw on her Instagram that she has a new book coming out, and she actually gave away free copies for anyone that signs up for her newsletter for the month. So I immediately had to hop on that. This is a new sapphic martial fantasy. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Let's see. You can see the beautiful cover there. I'll put it up on the screen as well so you can see it all, but I'm so excited for this one. I can't wait. I'm going to try and start it soon. I think it is already kind of late, and we are going to be going to the movies shortly, so I'll have to see how much I can get through, but it is a bit of a shorter book, like it's 200 and something pages, so I think I could get through it at a decent speed, hopefully this entire weekend. I'm also hoping to start Cauldrons and Campfires, which is Ali K. Mulford and K.L. Morrison's new sapphic rom-com. This is like a spooky summer camp sort of vibe. It comes out later this month, so I've got an arc of it that I'm just really excited to read, so I'm hoping to get to this one soon. I do read these books pretty quickly as well, like it's only 296 pages on here, but I also have a arc of Swords and Starlight. This one is by Ren Jones. This one is already out. I don't have an actual cover page for it, but this is a magical girl fantasy book that has literally just released. It sounds really cute and fun. I thought it was queer, but it's not actually, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. It's kind of been compared to like Sailor Moon and like K-pop Demon Hunters, like that kind of vibe. So I'm intrigued to see what that's like. But yeah, we're going to see how much I can actually get through this weekend. Like I said, we're going to be going to the movies soon. We're going to go see Backrooms tonight, and I'm very excited for that. I'm also going to go to the shops and pick up some chocolate because I really feel like chocolate. And yeah, we're going to an earlier session of the movie so we can come back and do a bit more stuff after. My partner's going to play Destiny with some friends, and I'm going to go and read these books that are on my Kobo. I'm going to try and read as much as I can this weekend, but we'll see how we go. I'm going to go and tidy up some of the books I still need to put away and try and do a little bit of reading before we need to leave. I'm not too sure if I am going to start one of those books on my Kobo or if I'm going to read Among the Burning Flowers. I don't know which will be better, but we'll see how we go. Okay, I finished reading Campfires and Cauldrons and oh my god. Oh, Chip. Okay, so I finally finished reading Campfires and Cauldrons and I really enjoyed it. It is a very cute and fun read. It was just such the perfect book to read over this weekend. It really, I feel like, has helped pick up my reading mood because I did feel like I was starting to struggle a little bit in the last couple of days since really reading Cute and after finishing The Ending Fire. I think I just always struggle a bit once I do finish a series because that's like such a big thing that's now over and I just have too many feelings that I'm trying to get through, but I thought this was super cute and fun and just such a sweet sapphic romance. If you are someone that loves rom-coms and things like practical magic and like summer camp vibes, this is just the perfect book to pick up. But it's a lot later in the afternoon now. I had to go to the supermarket and get groceries and do a few other things around the house, so I haven't done any more reading really. I've been listening to an audiobook, but we are now going to be picking up Destiny's Edge by M.L. Wong, which is her new sapphic fantasy book, so I'm gonna go and read that for a bit. I'm hoping to finish it today, but I don't know if that will actually be possible because I am a bit of a slow reader, so we're just gonna see how much of it I can get through. I really wish I had started it a bit earlier just because I feel like I might be hooked to it and not want to sleep, and I've got work tomorrow, so we'll see how we go, but I'm gonna get straight into the reading. Finished 2 books since we last spoke, so I thought I'd do a little reading update, but I can't remember if I actually spoke too much about this, but I started listening to the audiobook of Voyage of the Damned by Frances White, and I actually ended up finishing it during the week. I really enjoyed this. I thought the world was really fun and all of the characters were so entertaining and interesting, and I really liked the way that everything wrapped up and ended. It was just such a solid and great read. I just had such a great time with it, and the audiobook narration was amazing as well. So very fun and solid book. I just had such a good time with it. I'll definitely be picking up Frances White's newest book, which is a horror. I just got to try and track down a copy. I think it actually comes out in August in Australia, so I'll probably wait till it releases here to buy it rather than ordering it from somewhere else. But I just thought this was really fun, very gay as well. Then for another gay book, I ended up finishing Emma L. Wang's Destiny's Edge. I had such a good time with this as well. It was so fun. I thought it was a really great and interesting world and magic system. It had me so hooked, like right from the beginning, and I'm so mad that we now have to wait for the actual books in this series to come out because it was just so good and so well done. I thought the romance was really sweet and cute in it as well, if at times a little underdeveloped, but I really just loved it, and I know I'm going to actually love this series itself when it does release. But this was a really fun and short read. It took me a little bit to get through just because I feel like Emma Wang books I read a bit slower than normal, but I really loved it. I thought it was fantastic. But I'm also currently reading Among the Burning Flowers by Samantha Shannon. I started this a while ago, but just haven't made much progress. I'm not even quite halfway yet. I'm 105 pages in, but I'm hoping to finish it today, and then I think I'm going to move on to A Song of Legends Lost and start that. I've also got some other books on my Kobo and Kindle that I'm planning on reading, so we'll see how we go, but I'm having a really good time with what I have read, and I am enjoying this one as well, but for some reason I'm just really struggling with getting far into it. Things are now really picking up now that we have got the High Western actually awake and got all that stuff actually happening and progressing and getting closer to the actual events of Priory, so I'm very excited to read more of this. But I also wanted to talk about my new sweater. I need to sit up more so you can see it. But it's this really cute snail house sweater, and it says slow living. And we've got like windows on the elbows. There's the snail tail, and then over here is the snail face, and it's just really cute, and I really like it. It's one I've been wanting for quite a while now, and I found a discount code for it, so I got it for a lot cheaper than it was actually selling for, but it was still a bit expensive, but it's such good quality, and it's like really thick and double lined, so you don't really need to wear another layer under it to keep you warm. So I'm definitely going to be getting a lot of use out of this one over the next like 2 months while we're still in winter and still cold, so I'm very excited to have it. But I'm going to stop yapping now and go back to my reading. I'm in a very weird reading mood at the moment, so I'm not too sure, but I have a reading vlog I'm watching Peru's Project, her Summerween vibes reading vlog, which is very cute and cozy, so I'm going to go and finish watching that. And I am also going to, if I can get it out of my stack, I'm going to go do some more Myrtles as well, because I actually had a copy of this before, but it got really badly damaged. I think I already spoke about it in this vlog, but I'm slowly making my way through all of them again and redoing the ones I've already done just so I can have them completed. So I think I'm gonna do some of these while I watch this video, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I feel like it was a bit of a mess, but let me know what your favorite book you read from June was. I'll also link below my June wrap up so you can see all my thoughts and feelings on the books, because there's some I read that I didn't talk about in here. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.